After a span of about 27 months, the limits imposed on domestic airfares will be removed from tomorrow, that is the 31st of August. This will give airlines flexibility on passenger fares and may offer discounts on flight ticket prices to attract more travelers. So, on the one hand, they may offer discounts. On some routes, prices could actually go up. It's up to the airlines now, because previously airlines could not offer discounts because of the lower and upper cap prices on domestic airfares imposed by the government due to COVID-19. Meanwhile, India may soon have a new mechanism to price air turbine fuel for domestic airlines, which will bring in more parity between global crude prices and ATF prices in India. This is expected to bring down the cost of ATF by at least 15% and will be a big boost for the ailing Indian carriers, for whom ATF consists of 40% of total cost of operations. ATF prices have seen more than a 50% hike since January. So what can we expect from tomorrow as far as airfares are concerned? Remember, we're also going into the festive period where there is more travel and there is more demand, usually higher airfares. Ajay Attorney, founder live from alounge.com, is joining us on the show. I'm also speaking with Pavan Soni, practice lead Kappa India. Welcome to both of you, and thank you so much for speaking with us today on the India Development Debate. Ajay, what are you expecting from tomorrow? Will there be a price war, or will airlines actually want to now make some money?
Well, hello, Tamanna, and thanks for having me again. I think it's going to be a mixed bag from tomorrow onwards. Like you yourself mentioned, some routes will not see a drop in prices as we expect. This is purely because there will be not enough capacity going around. These could be monopoly routes. These could be routes with maybe 2 or 3 flights a day, which perpetually run full. And since we're going into the festive season, airlines do not expect to kind of have to, drop fares to attract passengers there. But on trunk routes, such as Mumbai, Delhi, where there is a whole lot of airlines operating a whole lot of number of flights, I would expect that fares would go down purely because there are like maybe over 50, 60 flights a day, either ways in each direction. And if you've seen or if you've flown recently, you'd see flights are usually 60, 65% full. So they're perhaps not at the break-even level right now. And airlines would like to do something to get the rest, maybe up to 80% occupancy on these planes as well. So that's my initial thoughts of what's going to happen tomorrow onwards.
Okay, so some routes is where airlines may make the most of the fact that occupancies are returning. Pavan Soni, how do you see this playing out, and will it really depend on what the strategy of airlines is at this point? So, for example, you have new entrant, Akasa. They may opt for deeper discounts compared to the others, or is it going to sort of be a free-for-all?
Hi, thank you for having me, first of all. So the removal of fare caps is a very, very welcome decision. This was long overdue. We hope that the carriers will maintain sensible pricing regime going forward and not revert to the loss leader strategies that we've seen. In the long term, yield dilution is inevitable because I know airlines have been wanting rational market, but yields have been very high thanks to in the current year, thanks to fare caps. The yield was about 5,000 INR in the first quarter and about 4.5 in the second one. Since so what this fare cap has done is essentially trained the market, trained the consumer to pay a bit higher, and I think the airlines would definitely want to capitalize on that. And airlines have been making quite a bit of losses in the past year, so they have to not revert back to the loss leader strategy, and they have to make more of the situation now.
Okay, Ajay, what is the best strategy as far as consumers are concerned? Because we are going to go into sort of a higher demand period. Would this be the best time to start booking as much as in advance, or wait and watch how this all pans out, especially with the hope that ATF prices will cool off?
See, we are not going to see deep discounts on many routes, okay? But like Pavan said, and like I concur, flight discounts and the discipline in pricing is only till one peg falls. You know, if one guy does a sale tomorrow morning, the rest are all going to follow, and all hell will break loose. Okay, so and if it's one of the market leaders, then obviously the rest will follow. You will have everyone else doing a sale by tomorrow afternoon. So there's no real strategy here. What we can do is
Ajay, let me put you on the
what I would
spot there.
advise is
Which of the
uh,
players do you think is likely to do that?
I'm not going to take names. I'm really not in the head of or the seats of any of these guys, so I
Yeah.
can't take any names. Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, let's see what happens tomorrow. Somebody could just come up with a flyer tomorrow morning saying, "Hey, to celebrate liberation in pricing, let's go on celebrate the removal of fare caps or something." Anything could happen. But the best strategy at this point of time, coming back to your question, is that people book maybe 30, 35 days out because typically airlines have pricing algorithms where 30-day pricing is cheaper than 15-day pricing, which is cheaper than 7-day pricing, and so on and so forth. So if they expect to do travel in late October when Diwali is happening and so on, airlines will hold fares. But if you're going to book your tickets maybe tomorrow, day after, next week, next 10 days, you should hopefully get a slightly better price as compared to maybe 30 days from now. So that's the only thing I can say. And yeah, October to December, a lot of festivals, a lot of holidays, a lot of long weekends. Things will happen. With this propensity to travel coming back, people will travel whatever the fare is. So yeah, it's most probably people will pay to travel, and January 2023, we will see how this pricing really needs to be tackled. So I guess that's also the reason why the ministry has removed this fare cap now, is because in the festive season people will anyways pay to go home or go away or whatever, and they're hoping that this discipline stays at this point of time, because demand is anyways going to be there in the next 4 months, 5 months.
Pavan, you want to fill that? Do you think there is any player slash players who are itching to make the most of a short price war? And can we actually see fares on the upward side? Because like Ajay said, that people who want to travel are going to do that no matter what.
Sure. So it is very likely that we might see the fares on the upper end go much higher, because what the fare caps did was essentially put an upper care to protect the flyer and the lower floor to protect the airline. But now, since the fare caps are not there, the airlines are free to price a route as per what their demand, as per what they feel the demand is. So definitely the prices, the higher ends are going to go up, are expected to go up. But also, since we have new airlines in the market, it is possible that some airlines may adopt again a loss leader strategy and undercut some routes which the fare caps were preventing. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Like Ajay said, we are not in the shoes, but we can definitely expect some interesting strategies in the next couple of months.
All right.
Talking about the season, we have a lot of festivals coming up. And like I said, the pandemic has trained the demand to pay a bit higher for the fares that they were paying before COVID. So airlines will definitely take advantage of it, and we can see some higher fares. The third point would be that a lot of capacity, a lot of aircrafts are grounded. So due to the global supply chain issues, so going forward, that may add some small pockets of fare increases in the next couple of months. But like Ajay said, we'll have to see what happens in post-January.
Yep. So
I just have one
yeah.
thing to add there, Tamanna.
Sure.
Yeah, I think, if anyone is going to come up with a sale tomorrow, it's going to be the financially weaker players. It's not going to be the ones who are well funded at this point of time.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, they were the ones who would start a pricing war because, they need the cash. Everyone else usually wants to keep discipline.
So I'm glad you've put out that little hint. Thanks for that, Ajay Attorney and Pavan Soni, for joining us on the discussion, the lead story this evening. Now come